Okay, weird draft overall. 4 quarterbacks in the top 10, that creates a weird environment because teams don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Generational talent somehow fall in the middle of the draft.
Odd players falling, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Robert, what's your surprise of the night?
Buffalo. Buffalo was my surprise of the night. It's not that they made the trade for the quarterback, we all expected that. The guy they picked was somewhat of a surprise. Josh Allen going for Josh Rosen.
It's so NFL.
It so is. On top of making that move, they would go trade up for Tremaine Edmonds. When Buffalo assembled this kind of arsenal and war chest of picks, it was a way to load up to move up for a quarterback. It was a way to give a new regime an ability to retool a team. And after they made the move up for the quarterback, now the rest of the picks are to retool your football team with a new group of people in charge. Instead of doing that, they gave up more draft capital for one more guy.
Kevin, what was your surprise of the night?
I'm glad you asked me that, Mallory. I was sort of seeing this Barkley to the Giants thing, and the whole time I was like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a lot of scenarios. Obviously, Dave Gettleman was, I'm sure, fielding calls, but he basically said, we didn't want to screw around, we wanted to take Barkley. I think positional value, I would have done the Sony Michel thing.
I think that we've come so far in this way with running backs. It's like, if you can use them as a receiver, they're still going to touch the ball 25 times a game.
Barkley becomes one of the highest paid running backs in the NFL immediately. That's the problem.
But if you think he's a transcendent talent, is that okay?
Do you know why the Philadelphia Eagles made a trade for Jay Ajayi? So they had a running back that made $800,000. Do you know why? Because they realized the way to win a Super Bowl is to have a running back who makes $800,000.
That's not, come on.
Yes, it is true. I talk to people.
I just think that for the most part, in terms of how we view value, positionally, whatever, the pendulum swings one way and it swings back the other. And eventually you can get ahead of it a little bit. If I told you that the current version of Le'Veon Bell, you could have him for 4 years on a rookie contract, where would he go in this draft? He'd go in the top 5.
Yeah,
he would. I think that Barkley has an ability to impact each individual NFL game to the level of the top 5.
One of your points is that a running back is not as valuable as a quarterback, so I'm going to talk about a quarterback.
Great.
My surprise of the night is Lamar Jackson falling as far as he did. And
are you going to talk about Lamar Jackson in every video?
No, initially I was going to say.
You should!
What's the next binge mode?
Lamar
Jackson.
Avengers.
Lamar Jackson's 2017.
I have all the Infinity Stones
Lamar
right
Jackson's
now.
Heisman season is the new binge mode.
It did not look like Lamar Jackson was going to be drafted in the first round until the Ravens traded up with the Eagles to take him at 32. We thought that this entire draft was going to be defined by quarterbacks. We thought we might see 6 quarterbacks go. We saw a Heisman-winning, utterly dynamic player like Lamar Jackson, who is gifted as a passer, exceptionally gifted as a runner, has great vision.
It reminds me of Teddy Bridgewater. Like, every person that talked about Bridgewater coming into that draft, like, oh, he might be the best quarterback in the draft. And then things happen. Bortles goes 3. We get to the end of the first round, and the team's like, well, it. I'll go get him then.
Right.
And it seems like the same thing. People thought that was the best quarterback in college football, Teddy Bridgewater. And they thought the same thing about Lamar Jackson this year. He probably should have gone 10 picks early.
Lamar Jackson did things on a football field for Louisville that Teddy Bridgewater never even conceived of.
100%. And like, he's a much more dynamic athlete, but it's still that same kind of idea where the guy that was more or less coming into the season, the consensus best quarterback available in the entire world of college football, goes to the end of the first round, and a team that doesn't necessarily need an answer at quarterback says, now we're going to do it.
It's just more evidence scouts have no idea what they're doing.
And that's kind of my thought about the quarterback conversation and class and market in general.
At least he didn't go to the Patriots.